bit skewed, so I don't comment on such things. I think YouTube has taken umbrage to this though. So I don't think I'm getting I'm not getting recommended to people. I mean, my views are now down to half of what they were, or a third of what they were 2 months ago. I'm not really doing anything different. Maybe it's because I'm not doing anything different. No, it's weird. It could just be because it's summer. People aren't watching YouTube as much because they're out having barbecues and stuff, holiday or whatever. That's very possible. It's like, I don't know. It's a weird world. But the whole, see if you're, the excuse for someone's having a bad time, they're not very happy. The way to make yourself happy is to try and make other people happy. Yeah? So if you're not happy, why don't you try helping somebody, then you'll feel better. The other way around it is I can't remember if it was up here. There's somebody painting, showing a guitar they've just wired up, or they've just bought themselves a new guitar. And it's a Harley Benton. I'll just go on and comment and say, oh, your new guitar's pure shite. I had one and it was terrible. I don't understand. I could spend all day on the Harley Benton site going, oh, I had one of these, it was terrible. It's like, if you ask me directly, I'll tell you that, or on my channel, or I'll do a review of a guitar. I'm not going to, if someone, I actually left quite a lot of guitar sites because that kept happening. Someone would be like, oh, I've just started playing the guitar, really looking forward to it, excited, here's my new Squire Stratocaster. And then you'd get the folk going up here, nah. You should just have saved up and bought a real guitar instead. That one's crap. And you're just like, oh, come on. Really? Does making somebody else feel bad make you feel better? And if so, you're a wrong'un. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so I got a wee bit upset about it last night. I've actually seen this, it's like folk, it wasn't even like Jen's post, it wasn't even something that she posted. It had been taken from another site and then put on a site and then people bitching about it, and you're just like, wow, I totally understand not getting it, don't like it, that's fine. It's totally fine. Some people don't like interesting things or art. It's like, oh my god, imagine having a Strat that's neon coloured. Oh god. And you're not, I get it, see, obviously you get a lot of this when something like the PRS Silver Sky came out. There was so much negativity about it because PRS is a big massive company making millions of pounds, and any publicity is good publicity, blah blah blah. And I think it was kind of done intentionally, a wee bit like that. But you're talking about an individual person, or even let's say it's me. I get it as well when I do the Buckycasters or the Iron Brew ones. I remember getting in a guy put it on ugly guitars, and he'd obviously gone to my advert and taken all the photos and put them on ugly guitars for I think it was an Iron Brew guitar thing, and it was he'd taken out the bits where my name was involved or the fact that it was for sale or anything like that. So I was like, it'd be nice if you'd give me some sort of credit, this is mine. And I was like, I got a personal message from him just like, oh fuck you, blah 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 blah, you're ugly, just as being as personal, as nasty as possible. I just took this off a random photo on the internet because I thought it looked pure shite. And you're just like, my god, I wonder if this guy is like 14 or, But the thing was, it's not even that one. That can't even have been true because he'd like all 6 photos that were from my advert, so it was no way it was from her. I understand, you can be flicking through and find a picture of an ugly guitar and feel that you have to post it, but I mean, and then getting pure aggressive about it, just like, it's a really weird, I hope, I don't know, I would hate to be that person, more than I hate that person. I would hate to be the person that really enjoys putting other people down just for fun. Yeah, I mean, some guitar, I have posted ugly guitars before, generally mostly my own, I mean, just because it's ugly to somebody doesn't mean somebody might not pure love it. Happens with a lot of guitars. I don't know, I guess it's just bored people, isn't it? Maybe it's just to get some sort of emotion. they're completely void of any sort of feelings in their life. So by being nasty to someone, they get a feeling. They don't know that it's not a nice feeling, it's a nasty feeling, it's a feeling. Having no joy or just bitterness. Yeah. What a negative way to start the day. So I'm stuck. Actually, I managed to get that wee. The Shannercaster did a video of it yesterday. It sounded alright. I'm quite good at playing not very good guitars, I think. It's a wee bit of a skill. You'll see me being very gingerly with it. I mean, to be fair, I ran out of strings, so it was just strings that I took off another guitar. When I say I ran out of strings, I do have strings, but they're going on my guitar, not on a GB one. Not that I think it really makes any difference with the art guitars. It's a different thing. I don't understand how you can be angry about it. I mean, okay, putting out ugly guitars, that's fine, but being nasty about it as well, personal. There's like, and the conjecture. As soon as this girl's work somewhere else, I don't even think she plays the guitar. And it's like someone's like up here, oh, these guitars don't even work, they don't have strings on them. And you're like, yeah. But, like, see when you're painting a guitar, it's generally a good idea to take the strings off it and the hardware off it so that you don't get paint on the hardware. That kind of thing. Rather, no, I'm not going to do any effort into looking it up or anything like that. I'm going to do that. But it has, to be honest, it's kind of backfired on those people as well, because what was it? You get fucking 3,500 likes and like 900 odd comments on whatever site it was, I can't remember. One of your a bit too generic guitar sites. I like the Japanese ones to see things that I want to see, but I'm not really interested in, just general ones. Because most guitars, not that I don't find them interesting, all guitars are cool, but I'm not really that interested in seeing like another square strat or another, something you can buy just now. It's like, if I want to see something I can buy just now, I'll watch the Andertons videos or something like that, things that are currently out. Actually, I did see, to be fair, I saw a guitar I hadn't seen before this morning on, I think it was like Awesome Cheap Guitars or something it's called, and it was it's a Squire, I think it was a Classic Vibe or something. It's kind of like a Strat body, TV yellow, and it's got two P90s and a wrap over bridge, and it's like I thought it looked great. Fantastic looking guitar, the sort of guitar that a few years ago I used to be able to point out when you were into guitar something like that, you're boring, oh I like that one, it's £2,000. It's like, I seem to have the ability to do that. I'm not looking at it for being exceptionally shiny or looking at the hardware, just a slightly off the wall and interesting concept. I'm sure some folk will pure hate the fact you can't have a Strat with two P90s in it and a hardtail bridge, but it's like, that's kind of where I live with my guitars, so I'm not that keen. I mean, even Scott's got a really nice American Strat. I can't remember what it's called, like the top of the range one. I don't think it's a custom shop, but the top of the range, not a custom one. And it's just a black Strat. It's lovely. It plays amazing. It's just a black Strat. It just looks like it's for normal people. If you know what I mean. This be since I'm slagging off people who get a black Strat. That's fine. It's not my thing though. I wouldn't comment on it on the Facebook page, say, oh, this is a bit of crap, I like an orange Strat or a yellow one or blah blah blah. There is a wee bit of, it's a personal thing in it. And most of the things I like, I get it. That even, some people, I would pretty much argue if you didn't think the Washburn Falcon was a beautiful guitar. I still get hate for it, obviously. So I was thinking I might pick up one of these cheap and then put in real pickups. And you're like, alright, real pickups. The Seymour Duncan 59s. Right, okay, cool. Pickups in it are like Demarson Super Distortions are really good. But if you look up the forums, you'll find that, Seymour Duncan 59s are the best. Okay. I've tried them first. Up to you. So I'll see if I can find one cheap. I don't know, it's the superiority thing. I don't really get it. Maybe I'm just not a Tory, that's it. I don't want to wear it as a badge. It's like, here, look at, I've got this guitar, it cost £3,000. happy with it. Listen to this. Here we go. Yes, this is a £150 Ibanez Roadster. And even now, I was in the studio last night. The wee red bass was phenomenal. A wee bit of a strange rehearsal. We've got this gig on Saturday, which is it's going to be hilarious. I just up the GoPro to my head so I could film a sort of video, make it a little bit more interesting. What actually did happen was it was actually a much better mix. It kind of changed a little bit depending on where I was standing, but I was kind of walking about, you know, during the singing bits, going right up to Brian's face, because it was on the fisheye lens thing. It kind of zooms out a little bit, so I was right, you know, up that far away from when he's singing. He's up here looking at me. Only did it once or twice, and because I'm moving about, because it does have a stereo mic on it, and I'm standing next to the drums, you did get a sort of more of a stereo feel for it. It's good fun. I spent too much time, but I didn't have the camera at the right angle. I was kind of looking at the floor, but it's good fun. That's me playing a £10 bass. See, for me, there's a much bigger joy in that. I'm much more impressed with someone who sounds good playing a Squire Strat than someone who sounds good playing a £6,000 absolutely mint condition guitar, and they're just okay. You see it quite a lot. It's just like there is no reason for you to have that guitar. You're not that you're not worthy of it, but I mean, I suppose if you've got the money, you can buy it. Just look at it if you want it. But you see so many people, you know, they're sitting there with, you know, £1,000 guitar, and they're basically just picking a couple of chords to make any difference. You can't even really hear it. They're not pushing it or using it properly. I do get that if you're, you know, like a virtuoso, like a Paul Gilbert or Steve Vai, having a good guitar, because you're pushing it a little bit, it will sound better. And it'll be of more use. There's certain things you can do on a good guitar you can't really do on any other guitar. But look at the way that wee Encore Shanacaster thing I was playing the other night. It sounded fine. I was playing very specific things on it. You know, I wasn't going to be able to blast out, you know, I can't really play any very particularly complex stuff, but you know, string skipping and finger tapping and all that, you're not really going to be able to do that on a guitar like that. You could argue it's not for that. It's kind of not for that, but just because it's not expensive enough. But I don't know. The world is strange. This is a really strange roundabout in Bearsden. There's shops on the roundabout, and you can park in front of the shops, actually literally on a roundabout. Or maybe you're not allowed to park, but people do. It's like parking on a roundabout, right? Kind of bizarre. So I'm taking the Alice Cooper, I'm giving it to Scott because I think it should be a really good one. It's a very expensive. What I think happened was Scott was making himself an amazing Telecaster, and at some point he fucked it up. So it's like it's a solid ash body, like a one-piece ash body with a Babinga top and all that. And when I first saw it, when Jen painted Alice Cooper in the back of it, but the top didn't look good at all. It was kind of like terracotta red, and it's something. So I was like, graffiti it. So she did, and it looks pure amazing. Got like a decent Affinity Series Squire Strat neck that I had to belt sand a little bit to make it fit. And I think maybe this one could be an expensive one, because it does have a portrait on the back of it. You know, it's not a couple of £100 guitar anyway. So I'm thinking what I should do is give it to Scott, and then you can invest a little bit and use, you know, buy good hardware, not shit that I found lying about, and make a more expensive guitar, just in case, you know, because there are people who will balk at the idea and hate on something because that's not an expensive guitar. I paid £1,000 for a guitar and you paid 150. Oh God, I'm so much better than you. The attitude, the chewed, bad attitude. So maybe just making something expensive is what you actually want to do. So that's where the worth comes in on it, no matter if it's good or not. Yeah. Although I don't know how the guitar market's doing just now. I think if anyone's interested in a Gibson Les Paul P90, my pal's selling one. Doesn't want that much money for it, I have to say. I think he's looking for a trade for it. He's had it up for sale for a while. He has put some funny stuff on it. It's got like one of those less trims on it, which to be honest, if I was going to buy it, I would take that off and sell it, because I'd probably get 150 quid for it, which would make it probably, in fact, actually thinking about it, I wonder if that's maybe, I don't really want a Les Paul. There's a part of me that kind of wants to have one, just so, because I'm always so nasty about them. But my whole point about being nasty about Les Paul is they're so bloody expensive, and everyone says they're amazing who's never really played one or doesn't really care. But I do sort of get it. If it's what you look, if it's really your dream guitar, it's going to be better than a guitar that's better that is not your dream guitar. You know what I mean, I suffer from that as well. I'm biased, I'm prejudiced, something like that. I mean, the Aria Pro Cardinal I had from my pal Alex the other week. I really enjoyed doing that because this is my kind of thing. This is what I'm really into this. You know what I mean? I mean, this is the same as if I like other music. Yeah, totally. Totally. I'll talk to you about Zeppelin or Deep Purple or the Beatles or anything like that. Yeah, great. Yeah, I pure love them. Yeah, totally. I was talking about Black Sabbath. Now, well, because that's my favourite. So there's an element of that in it. But it's just it boils down to. I knew exactly what that Aria Cardinal was going to be like, and it's exactly what I knew. I'm going to say it's exactly what I thought. It's exactly what I knew, even though I've never played one before. So my big thing about the guitars is the early 80s Japanese guitars is the consistency of them. I've got another West Tone Thunder in to get fixed actually. Thanks to the keyboard player from the Bucky Range this time, and it's not going to be the most exciting video, because I've done West Tone Thunders before, and I've said this many times about West Tone Thunders. They're all the same. They're all brilliant, but they're all the same. You're not going to have somebody who's got a West Tone Thunder that's just got something a little bit special about it. Yeah, it doesn't really have something special about it. It's just a West Tone Thunder. And there's something special about it if you compare it to other types of guitar, but they're all exactly the same. Well, assuming they're not burst, okay, someone might have altered something that might be a bit worn, blah blah blah, that kind of thing, so you can get a better one in that sense, but the actual everything else is just identical. It's the most consistent thing ever. You do get that. I mean, I suppose it's one of the things you hear about Harley Benton all the time. In fact, partly the newer ones aren't as good as the old ones, so you're already getting this sort of, you've got to pick the right one. Same thing happened with Squire as well. It's like, it's got to be from this year. To a certain extent, that's right. But the Harley Benton thing is, it is a bit. Sometimes when you put the frets in a guitar, they just go in straight because of the woods, and everything's just perfect. But it really isn't any work to make it good. It's possible. It doesn't happen very often. It's not what happens with a West Tone Thunder. They put the frets in, and if they all go in perfectly, that's fine. But if they don't, they'll work on them and make it work, and that kind of thing. It just makes them more expensive. I saw somebody got an Ibanez Roadstar one, the RG 140, my wee red one, which I love. That's looking at it, yeah. I kind of the comment was, I kind of want to buy that just to save its life. I was looking at it thinking, what's wrong with that? And then I noticed that after about 30 seconds of looking at it, someone had for the photo they put the tremolo socket. See, on that particular bridge, the tremolo arms, it's like a push-in one, so it's kind of got an end connector that looks a bit like a guitar lead. So that's where they put the tremolo arm. The tremolo arm was actually stuck in the jack socket. It's just like, never seen that before. But I bet you it fitted. I bet you it was exactly the right size. And oh shit, wrong leg. I bet you it fitted. It was the right size and it clicked in. It's just a worry about someone who tries to give it a wiggle and just snaps the scratch plate. Because trying to find a scratch plate for a RG140 is not going to be an easy thing. You're going to have to make one. These are the sort of things I normally try and get cheap. You ever see one of them, by the way? That's an RS140 or an RG140 or a 155 or whatever they are. I think the HSS one's probably the best one. There's a 2 humbucker, there's a single humbucker, and there's a 3 single coils. One's like a 130 and a 135 and a 140 and a 145, something like that. All basically the same guitar. I think the HSS is probably the best of the bunch for me, anyway. I suppose you're kind of losing a little bit. It does have a coil split on it. So it does do bridge single coil, but it's not a true single coil because it's a split bucker, which okay, split bucker, yeah, it sounds like a single. It doesn't sound exactly like a Strat pickup. If you really, really want the Strat pickup sound, then the 3 single coils is the way to go. I'm not that accurate. I think a lot of people have like a sound maybe in their head that they're just absolutely hunting for all the time. And I just don't really have that. I like to plug a guitar in and then see what it sounds like, and then maybe a little bit different. Maybe it's just because I've got so many guitars. I should fanny about the sounds a little bit more. I just can't be bothered. I'd rather spend the time playing the guitar. Maybe the same with like your pedals and alternate tunings and stuff like that. I'd rather be playing than trying to get the sound right. Work with what you've got, wing it, you know. Just call it a joke. This Glastonbury festival we played, there's Ali's got a suckling pig, a rotisserie, like a full pig on a rotisserie thing to cook for the barbecue. It's like, wow, that's going to be amazing. So I was telling the guys in Sabbath last night, I was like, yeah, he's got a rotisserie. I've always wanted to eat one of them. That would be amazing for your bucket list thing. So as long as I told him to put an apple in its mouth, because obviously you've got to have an apple in the mouth. And then Craig's like, I had a vegetarian option. I was like, brilliant. You just imagine you get a vegetarian apple, you're taking an apple out of a cooked pig. Fantastic. Anyhow, that's me almost here. I'll see if I can take a wee bit of a video for. I mean, I'm getting a wee bit of notice on. Jen says people keep calling me, is that Mad Malcolm wearing your guitars? But I mean, it's just, is it possible it's going to take off? It might be worth tons of money. If they do, I'm sitting there with number 1. It's even stamped number 1, the first one that was ever done. Yeah. It was started a good half hour before number 2 was done. I think. It was even on the first day. Was it just done on its own? It might have been done on its own. I think it was. I think it was done. The number 1 was done on its own. I don't think I generally knew what it was going to end up looking like once it had hardware on it. And then the following week, I took over another couple of guitars, and then that's when 2, 3, and 4. The wee red bass is number 3. I think I've got 1, 3, and 4. Maybe 5. I don't know. I can't remember. I've got the Fernandez bass has been sitting in the back seat of the car. I wouldn't do that because it's a really horrible colour anyway. So I'm taking like a good quality Japanese bass, which is excellent, but a bit ugly, and painting is just going to make it better. Even just painting it a solid colour, but a better colour, but I'd much rather add a bit more excitement to it. It's raining. I hope the weather changes. I'm wearing shorts, I don't have a jumper. That's a good. That was a good, clever thing to do. That might be smoking in Jen's shed.